the club to come at them. It's up to them to execute on that game plan, not make any big mistakes and give V1 counterattacks.
Well, for the club, this whole season has always been with them one game away from toppling Furia. Now they are one match away from joining them in the main event. The club against version 1, best of 7 to make it through.
And a nice kickoff possession play for version 1 early on, but the club have turned that one around. Torment looking to advance the play, but it looks like lots of players actually have run out of boost here. And just trying to weigh each other up early on in this matchup. The club didn't have too much in the way of defending to do against Pioneers. They were just relentlessly attacking. That's not going to be the case against version 1.
Version 1, when they can get that offense rolling, get the demos going. So lethal of a team to play against as Stromic tries to find the backboard. Not going to happen. Version 1 will always keep that covered. You can already see Beast Mode sticking around, but there's Lost almost landed on the ball to turn it in. Version 1 up against a swarm of offense. You can already see a Stromic. He went to the backboard as Com will intercept. Version 1 up against it defensively, but they have kept this reasonably calm so far, despite the club looking very, at least, creative with the way that they are playing. And it's not something I really want to see from the club. I feel like when they came into this tournament, they played like it was their first RLCS event. Now they're starting to play a bit like that team that we've seen online, who can really step up and take it to the best of their region.
Yeah, and although they come into the World Championship Wildcard as South America's #3 team, we've mentioned this throughout the week quite a few times, they're currently #2, at least if you power rank South American teams. Furia, obviously #1, but the club have been that second best team towards the end of the season. Although Secret throughout the entire year outperformed them. Oh my goodness! How about timing of a demo? Floor double goes slowly on target, but there's no goalkeeper to save it. V1 get a taste of their own medicine.
Look, the game went quiet here because it wants you to hear the demo, the explosion, the crash of the cars. The club won, version 1, 0. And the club stepping up in the opening stages of this match. Stromic back in time to turn that ball away. And this is already so much better from the club. I had a chance to talk to Daz earlier on. He was saying, look, the club know how to switch it up. This is plan A, but they have got plans B to C.
I mean, they've got some ridiculous plays. Lost is just ceiling challenged and then kept on going to keep pressure on the ball. They've got the confidence. Clearly, this is the same pace that Secret just obliterated Veloce with. Version 1 knew that they were up against a tough competition here, but did they expect the club to just disrespect them like this? Throw themselves at every ball. Right now, Lost looks a bit unplayable. How long will it take for version 1 to figure him out?
This is the club playing with the mechanics that match the aggression. They can continuously rotate back out, get the recoveries. None of this, as wacky as it has been at times, has put any of their own players in a bad position. So like the positioning of KV1, almost able to see the pass back over. But version 1 pegged back into their own side of the field. Stromic now tasked with holding on to the midfield. He will do exactly that as version 1 give up possession relatively easily. Unfortunately for them, it did land with a Torment that was out of boost. And not the best touch there from KV1, just couldn't quite maintain control of the car. Now V1 finally escaped their own side of the field. Is it only temporary? It's up to Torment to do exactly that. But the club, that midfield belongs to them.
Yeah, they really have squeezed version 1 in this matchup. Version 1, like we mentioned in the run-up to the game, do like to defend. Torment and Beast Mode love to pile up those numbers, but that is exactly what the club want. They want teams to sit back and let them attack them so they can use all of their aggression on the ball and, in this game especially, off the ball.
If we just turn the score off and just try to let everyone at home guess which one of these teams is the one that is trailing, 99% of people would probably get it wrong. The club look like they are the team that need the goal more. They have got it. 2-0. Version 1 on the ropes.
Yeah, Beast Mode here had no boost. He was trying to get a bit of distance on that clear as he popped it into the post. but it's gone nowhere. And the club pounced on it. Like you mentioned, they have not slowed down, despite the fact they're only sitting on a 1-goal lead there. They just piled on the pressure time and time again. Here's Lost looking for a third. He's got it on target. He's got it in the top corner. The club 3-0.
It's just too easy at the moment. Lost off the perfect pathing. Managed to get himself an extra 12 boost on the way and made all the difference. As he launches it top corner, 42 seconds left here, version 1. The gauntlet has been thrown down here, my friends. The club, 3rd seed from South America in name alone, proving exactly that. They might even try and add a 4th. It's just been unrelenting, Johnny. It really has. Every time version 1 think, and they might finally get away. And this time they will. The club come right back at them. It's one of those teams that have more boost than you think they should.
They're playing with the boost hack, of course. Don't try that at home. You're just going to be disappointed when you find out it's not a thing. The club are the real deal. We knew that they had potential coming into the wildcard event. Now they are showing all of it against their opponents on stage. And reminds me that Com has gone on record many times saying that he does not like when he's queuing up ranked games, trying to practice his mechanics, and he gets South American players in his lobby. Of course, South American players can queue on the USD servers with anything in the range of 120 to 150 ping, which is super difficult to play with. But those are training weights, and that's why South American players like to do that. Some of the North American players don't really like that, because I think the play styles, as you can see, can sometimes match up in a pretty ugly way for NA. NA trying to play quite a defensive style, quite a gentlemanly style. Let's all just rotate. Let's all just take boost, make sure that we can all have a good time. That's not what South America's about. They're trying to make you hate the game. And, you know, I expected Com to be a player who would appreciate that as as someone who likes to remove his opponents from the field as often as he does. But it looks like the club have taken all Com's tweets personally over the course of the years. You know, he says, stay off our server. Well, they say, stay out of our tournament. We're going to run right through you, 1-0 in comfortable fashion.
Now, I don't know what just happened over at the A stream, but the crowd definitely let me know that something happened over on the A stream.
I don't think that was big enough to be a Space Station Gaming win.
You wouldn't know that we are this limited on crowd, would you? We're on the opposite side of the building, more or less, and we are still hearing what they are doing over there. So fair play and full kudos to those of you that have made the trip over to join us.
Yeah,
it's been an absolute pleasure.
3-0. Dignitas 3 games up on Space Station Gaming. Space Station did reverse sweep Dignitas at the LA Major, best of 5. Version 1 don't want to go all the distance with the club. That was a clean play there. Lost, just diving into the play, couldn't get goal side. Torment punches it through.
Is there anything that tells you that this is a goal more than when you see Torment go? Because he knows it's a goal. That's the only reason why he tends to go. And Torment putting version 1 onto the board. Oh, that lead's not gonna last! Version 1 had eyes on one player, needed to be worried about an entirely different one.
Lost just waited and waited. I think he's called the mind game there. He didn't want to pinch the ball downwards, understanding that he's just going to clear it if he does. So he lets it hit the backboard. That slower pace on the center ball actually surprised version 1. The club not just bashing themselves forward here, they're showing finesse as well. It's those changes of pace that could be so effective in these moments. Now back pass coming through. The club are really controlling the matchup at the moment. Version 1 have to start fighting for the midfield. Game 1, they were completely out-pressured. They had no territory to work with.
It's just at the moment that they don't, well, they have full belief that the club can outplay them. We did see with certain other teams, and Torment, well played just to not try and clear it with the first ball, instead tried for the challenge. Version 1 need a little bit of belief in the back 2 players that they can stop the play so they can just free up someone else to get the ball over to. Stromic wants the set. Torment moves out of the way, realizes that the bump might be coming his way, so decides to move slightly earlier. Look at this. It's 2 challenges every time. The club are so good at recovering that they always get summoned back.
Okay.
Boomer! One side to the other, coast to coast. Torment doubles up his goals.
This shot just absolutely flew into the net. Torment smashes it. Notice in the opening, it looks like the third man for the club went for the boost steal. Didn't make it back anywhere near in time. Will that make the club second guess this style that they're playing with at the moment? It's worked out really well up until now, where they've just piled on the pressure, relied on the recoveries to make it work. Oh my goodness, look at Lost. He's going all the way through, but Torment with a heroic save once again. He is keeping V1 in this defensively.
Torment is on another level right now. He needs some help.
Whoa!
Com does not provide it. That was a gimme.
I mean, he really did have a long time there, and he knew that he had a long time. He had full vision of the entire club roster missing. Will that be a mistake that they regret later in this game? Still, the lead stands for version 1. A 2-goal lead is something that they are extremely good at holding on to. Now they've got one. It's Torment in offense. Once again, he really has been the guy to lift version 1 out of the hole that they seem to be in.
That was the best three-person play I've seen, though. And more importantly, they get the goal so that Com does not now need to focus on that previous miss. Have redoubled the lead. And I think that's a little bit of a warning as well to the club, because the moment version 1 got themselves in an aggressive position, that's when the bump and demos started to show themselves. The club have to keep themselves in motion, can't leave players just on the goal line, because they will be found!
Oh my.
And they'll always find somebody for the pass.
With Lost just continues to somehow get the ball through. Goes right through Com like he's not even there. Gets it past beast mode as well. And another easy goal, this time for KV1, but Lost is an absolute menace. Version 1 still have not downloaded.
When Lost gets the ball, he turns into a juggernaut. Oh!
Oh my!
And there's Torment, he's got a fourth! This might end up being one of the highest scoring games in Torment's career.
It looks like Lost just really couldn't decide what to do with this one. Com continued to play it, and Torment will not get an easier goal all day. There's still a long way to go here, and with how aggressively the club have been playing, you can almost guarantee that there will be more goals. Which net remains to be seen.
Well, the club definitely do not do boring as a play style. And that's what has led to so many fans, not only of theirs, but of the South American region as just a general consensus. There is Com. We're feeling much better about his team's chances after seeing how they performed in this game. But here has been the man for them. Torment dives past everybody. That transition game has been on point since we first saw him. Nothing has changed in 2022. That's a shot right down the middle, and actually even more than that, Astromic can control it. It's Beast Mode and Torment, and neither of them could do anything!
Composure in defense as Astromic collects the ball while saving a shot before air dribbling underneath beast mode and faking out Torment in the process. That's yet another 1v2 play. This time it's Astromic on the board.
High-low challenges enough to lower the lead that version 1 have. As Astromic just pops the ball high. Torment can actually continue playing this, especially now that Com has removed a bit of pressure. Here's Lost up against Com, and Lost wins the challenge. It really has become Torment versus Lost on the transition game. Whichever one is doing a better job has been giving his team more looks at the offensive side of the field. And then you just have a look at Astromic, who dances magnificently from one side of the pitch to the other. Com, back pass to Torment, lobs it long. Beast Mode not able to get over to it. Still good territory to get.
Com got that boost, that's huge. Lost a little bit stranded there, has to go all the way back. Time starting to run out for the club, but you know there will be chances. Version 1 have controlled the possession a lot more.
I don't know which side, but there is a goal.
There has to be. I did like the back pass from version 1, just trying to slow down the play. Definitely the idea against a team who are trying to keep it as fast as possible. You're joking. Well, the mid-air passing play is attempted, not too far off. The confidence of the club to even try that play speaks volumes.
I think the best way to describe the way the club play is Operation Why Not. You're there, I'm here, we might as well give it a go. 30 seconds left, the club still trailing by 1, Lost. Does fall for the bait from Com, who doesn't even have to commit, leaves himself relevant. Off the ceiling, Lost. Cuts rotation, almost got wiped out, but still he stuck around. KV1 has looked for Com, avoids getting hit. That means he can follow up for the block. Have we got that one last goal in this? Torment booms it. Club have got it all to do yet again. They will try to. Beast Mode and Com double commits, but it's up to Beast Mode. He's got to try and guide this one to the floor. Does exactly that. And version 1 have answered back after a game 1 that could not have gone much worse.
Yeah, they've done well there, and I think it's so important that they stabilized in this second game because the club looked terrifying to play against. Luckily, their defense did not match the offensive prowess. That allowed version 1 to be clinical, just get opportunities and take them. But yeah, what a carry by Torment. My goodness, 4 goals. So many clutch saves as well. Didn't expect this to be the Lost vs Torment show. Beast Mode's been getting all the praise as of late, but Torment absolutely carries and drags version 1 back into the series.
Torment doesn't do like soft carries, he just hard carries. Every time we've ever seen him go for it, cast your mind all the way back to when Cloud9 crowned themselves world champions. It was Torment that really received all of the plaudits. But this is, again, huge credit to version 1 because this is something that teams have struggled with in this wildcard format. Going a game down, and it just crumbles for so many of them.
Well,
but for version 1, no issues at all.
4-0, Dignitas, sweep Space Station. Version 1 are the last remaining hope for NA in round 4. Optic are going to be playing in that 5th round, the final round of Swiss later on today. Space Station Gaming have joined them, and should the club pull out a miracle win over V1 here, that would mean all North American teams are on their last life fighting for survival in the event.
Does that now mean that all European teams that could qualify now have qualified?
They have all 3 EU in, Renegades in. Either the club or version 1 will be joining them as the top 5 seeds coming out of Wildcard into the main event.
North America trying to get this wildcard back under control. Difficult to do though when what you are trying to control is a team that plays like the club. I would not expect to see much change just yet. The club do tend to mix things up. It's typically after a timeout. Beast Mode sealing off the challenge. This is a good position from V1.
Oh wow, what a turn.
V1, despite a lack of offense that they got in game 1, have scored off almost all of the offensive drives that we have actually seen them go for.
Yeah, they are good at, doing what a bit cleaner than the club at times, but they do keep the ball in front of the opponent's net long enough to create multiple chances. There's one, and it gets deflected this time. It's this kind of play that V1 are going to love, just getting the ball in front of the net, keeping it there, lovely back pass.
So good! Oh, how have you missed?
Beast Mode's at the post!
It was all done. The hard work was finished. You just needed, well, the finish. As hopefully this gives us a good reason for that. I'm gonna hold off judgment for just a moment.
Yeah, it looks like the club have got an issue. I mean, it was either that or just I was thinking, there's no way that KV1 has decided to just
maybe
park
it's the
in front of the box.
pause. They just really want them to like. Are you guys sure about that one?
It's like, did you really miss that open net, that wide open goal?
Just stare over. Are you good? There's nothing. All right, I guess we'll go again.
In fairness to Beast Mode, when he took the shot, I don't think he absolutely knew that the net was going to be open. He was probably thinking to himself, okay, my teammate's got pressure on the goalkeeper. That means he's either going to land a bump or chase the goalkeeper somewhere. And if you're running away from a bump, you tend to go into the net, around the back, and then off the underside of the crossbar. So shooting to the bottom corner actually does make sense in that context. The Beast Mode's not wrong to shoot bottom corner, because it's actually quite a difficult place to dive back down towards and make a save if you're being chased. Of course, doesn't make sense if you miss the goal. So the idea is good, the execution not so much.
Having played ranked with Johnny, I can confirm for you all at home that he does make this many excuses for me as well. So at least you're consistent on that.
It all makes sense in my head, trust me.
So we will get ourselves back into this as soon as we can. Unfortunately, we have no updates to bring you right now because, well, the rest of the tournament's kind of waiting on us here, Johnny. The upper side, the lower side has now been complete. I believe once this is done, we can start scheduling out our final 3 matches of Wildcard.
Well, the good news I do have for all the NA fans who are currently in turmoil is that you're not going to see any NA grudge matches unless the matchups are literally impossible to be cross-region. The winner, well, the teams coming out of this 2-1 round, every team that has been losing for NA today, they have been on the brink of qualifying. Now, if you're coming out of that round into round 5, you play against a team who just avoided elimination in the previous round. The teams who have so far done that have been Team Secret and O1 Esports. So those are the two teams who are waiting to find out which North American team they're going to be up against. And up until now, version 1's win record has been reasonable. So I think they're probably going to be better.
Space Station also can't play against version 1 because they have already.
Yeah, no, that's not happening. It's not happening. We're not going to see, don't worry guys, you're not going to see a heartbreaker where
there's
V1
somebody out
SSG
there with Space Station and V1 flares on just going, oh, thank goodness. Not a bad day for me.
Watch it go and happen now, and then they're just going to hate me for the rest of their lives if they didn't already.
The smartest thing I did in my career was not fully understand Swiss. Because then I don't have to be the one that ever says anything.
You don't have to explain it.
Yeah, it's like, it's you and Gibbs.
Yeah, Gibbs isn't here, so I've got to try my best, but it is a confusing format. Luckily, it does itself after this match is finished. We'll have all 3 of the remaining matches of the day confirmed. What a match we've got in front of us right now. We're back into game number 3. The club have been unbelievably impressive so far. And V1 need no introduction. But can Torment keep it up? Can he get a little bit of help? Both Com and Beast Mode have missed open nets in games 2 and 3 respectively already.
Torment with all 4 of version 1's goals. As he does stick around here. Torment enabling Com to move back in, and that's such a crucial touch. Whatever struggles the Com has had, he's not going to find any in that sort of position. You know he's going to nail it every single time. That's an awkward bounce, however, and Astromic has won the race to it. Com has to scramble back in time, wiped out for his troubles, and lost!
Whoa!
Another challenge won!
What celebration as well, sliding on the left-hand side of his car as he fist bumps his teammates. Lost with a monster dunk onto Torment. You know you're always going to need to make one more touch when you shoot, and Torment's in goal. Lost makes it a good one.
Rock solid. Every challenge against Lost. He just doesn't lose them as Beast Mode shot right into the path of KV1, and he misses the ball afterwards. So here we go, Lost again. The last player I think you'd want to see. Bit of a heavy first touch, but he can chase down Com, sticks around with it. And that gives the club at least a bit of possession. And I think that little interaction that we saw there, that despite the heavy first touch that we got, that doesn't put Lost off the play. He'll stick with it, and he tends to keep winning it back, even when he does make a mistake or two, as the drop-down pass once again read.
Yeah, perfect hit, but great read by the club. The pace that they're playing with at the moment has made V1 uncomfortable. That really goes to show you how mechanical, how quick this team is. Com making sure to hit the lead player there, even if he can't hit the ball. KV1 getting in the action. He's been priority defender for this team. The 1v1 god on the roster. Making himself useful at both ends of the field.
Com wants to see if he can find Torment. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Torment running out of boost at the least fortunate of timing. Astromic ends up missing it. Com, though, does well just to read that play. That has been something that has caught out V1 at previous moments in this series, just thinking that the club have got more of a right to the ball than they actually do.
And welcome viewers coming in from the main stream. We hear you guys had a bit of a one-sided affair, but luckily over here, it has been a close one. The club are currently tied, but leading game 3. And they've been, so far, the most impressive of the two teams. V1 having to really work hard just to hold this game to a close scoreline, off the back of some unreal defense from Torment, as well as 4 goals in game 2 from that same man.
Yeah, this has turned into almost the Torment versus Lost show for our opening 2 games, but everyone else more involved here in game number 3. Torment with the goals, Lost with the transitions, doesn't ever seem to lose them as Torment almost found Com. What a goal that would have been. That's a statement that we have said numerous times. Always seems to be just a whisker away from finding contact, but a Lost. Hey, if you want to know what Lost has been all about, there you go, there's the challenge. Thank you for making the point for me. Beast Mode.
Oh.
With a Stromic, a heavy read, but a poor touch. And they have got away with it, and they've got their second game.
They have been ice cold up until now, which we should have seen coming, given the fact that Stromic's got his jacket on, but V1 have still to really figure out the club. They got a game win in that second game, and that was off the back of some pretty chaotic defense from the club, where I think they even went a bit too fast for their own good. when the club get rolling, they look unstoppable. Lost in particular, like you mentioned, completely unplayable today. We knew that he was going to be a demon to go up against in the wildcard event, but I think even the wildest of expectations have been exceeded. To have one of the most defensively sound and one of the most consistent teams in North America now consistently struggling to handle one South American ball chaser. And I mean ball chaser in the best possible ways. You know me, I'm a massive fan of someone who cuts rotation and puts pressure on his opponents. There he is on your screen right now. They just don't know what to do with him. He is walking right through them like they're not even there. And they've got to figure it out quickly, because the club 4-1 Pioneers yesterday. And with the way that NA's been going in round 4, I think V1 have got to keep this one close. They've got to tie it up in game 4 here. Comeback is going to be so difficult against a volatile opponent.
Lost has been, very interestingly, almost like another fire burner. Every challenge won. And it is difficult to prepare for if you're on V1, because you're used to maybe on occasion getting, beat out by a flip reset. Maybe on occasion just somebody's a little bit too quick for you, but losing challenges, that's just demoralizing.
Yeah.
That feels something different, because he's reading the game better than you, and he's setting up for the game better.
I mean, that's why the club have been so hard to handle, is they're trying to beat version 1 to the ball, and even when that plan doesn't work, they've somehow got a 50-50 to back it up anyway. Beast Mode's got a nice setup here, but follow-up is nowhere to be seen from version 1. They're still playing quite a methodical approach in offense.
There's the follow-up. It's just too quick.
A stealing challenge coming in from Astromic. He's forcing the issue right next to the backboard. Look at how much pressure that puts on V1. Lost cuts rotation again to try and get the ball back to Astromic. But this has been the difference between these two teams. As soon as version 1 get the ball, the club are coming for them. They're tackling right next to the goal, and that creates opportunities from point-blank range.
I can guarantee you the most repeated phrase has been, why is he there?
Why not?
Exactly, because we can and because we will. Here we go, have lost yet again. Guess what, over to KV1. It's actually Beast Mode who built it by himself for a while. That might have been a little bit of a miscommunication there by the club. I think one of them wanted the at least bump or demo attempt. Oh, that's about as bad as it could have been! He still gets there in time! Not even the teammate can undo this!
I mean, the 50-50 spawn completely unlucky there for the club. Finishing, plaguing V1 yet again.
Oh!
Not even Torment, who scored all their goals, hits the target.
They are still in a good position, but the shooting has been lackluster from V1. Back over to Astromic. Here's Torment, waits for his opportunity. Now the pendulum swings. They know they've got to get some players back into position. So here's what Torment does best. Sticks with it, gets his teammates back into position, and Beast Mode will recover it in the midfield. Good block. It's back out. Torment will receive the back pass. Over to Beast Mode. Well worked here from V1. It will feel like they should be, and they would be absolutely correct in thinking 1-0 up.
Oh, certainly, especially with the unfortunate respawn for the club, blocking their own teammates' approach to what looked like a fairly consistent 50-50. But if you did join from the A stream, you missed an open net miss from Com and another open net miss from Beast Mode, although it was a bit more of a confusing one with a run-ahead demo occurring. That's been the problem for V1, or one of the problems for V1. I think the main problem is that the club have just played brilliantly, but their second problem is that Beast Mode and Com can't hit the target. Now here's Lost with the air dribble bump. He's hit the post. KV1 hits it wide. Astromic was there to finish it off, but KV1's touch took it away from him.
So we stay at 0-0, a game that should have had at least 3. Beast Mode up against Lost. We'll see it to his own corner, wants to avoid being hit, and just manages to duck away from Beast Mode on his way in. Here is Lost.
Look at this.
Just don't let Lost go over there. He just sticks to the wall.
He just keeps going. Once he's got the ball, he just rolls through everyone, whether it's an outplayer or 50.
Com.
Beast Mode's with him. Of course, Torment, as usual, covering. Version 1 have had good chances, but the club, every time they attack, look deadly. Here they come again. Com this time is able to defend well, but Astromic, who scored a worldie earlier on in the series, flying at them with everyone in a panic. KV1 trying to shrug off that blunder that took away an open net from his teammate. in a game with a bit of mistakes, but now it's version 1 who are playing forward. But once more, Astromic makes the defensive play while collecting the possession. That's composure from the land veteran of the team, and only a diving save from Com can stop the club from taking the lead. Now Torment keeps them in with a follow-up save as well.
I don't know how many expected goals we've got at this point, but the fact that we are at 0-0 blows my mind. This should be the least likely scoreline of all the numbers that you could throw out there. And yet here we are, still all to play for either side. Still looking for our opening goal. Beast Mode sees that Com might be the option, but Com very quickly realizing that that one is out of his reach. Nice boost steals though. Keep an eye now on those boost totals for the club. Those 100s are not coming up very soon. They have to be smart with these. I believe another one goes away from them. A Debo as well on the back line. Lost
has nothing.
Will be the last one back. Com looks for the redirect. He was not far off it. Breakaway. Astromic outplays one, but Torment happy just to settle for the bump. Are we going to overtime? Or is it going to be Astromic with the hero play? It comes out for Lost. Keeps it alive at the last moment. No angle found. Overtime reached.
Now what have we got for the kickoff strategy? This one goes the way of the club. Lost with a heavy hit forward. Looking to catch Com pre-jumping there. Com's reset easily read by Lost, who just stuck around in the midfield there now. Slight miss from Torment gives a free hit for Beast Mode. Another opportunity for version 1. Let's see if they can do anything with it.
Version 1 are so close to getting the strategy to work. I love it every time. Just send a hit, don't take your car off the floor, and then from there, move looking for the defender. As you can see, yet again, Com trying exactly that. You have to be so aware, and even if you do manage to avoid the bump, it might just take you out of the opportune position to deal with the shot coming your way. Bouncing pass.
It's great play by KV1. He knew he was going to be the victim of a bump, so he just dove in, but that's not the best play. Torment's got an open net, surely. That's game.
Oh, he's missed it!
Torment has just thrown away the most open net of the day.
The trifecta of misses has been complete. The worst hat trick that you could have achieved. Version 1 have it to their name.
Even their one consistent player on the day has completely fumbled a freebie. The club get a gift. They must be thinking, well, that's got to be deserved with how well we played today. But can they capitalize on it and get triple match point?
Astromic tries to work it from the corner. No such luck. The transition game from both sides has been so difficult to pull off. Astromic with a teammate on the wall. Here's KV1. Would have preferred if he was able to get there on the bounce. There's the shot! And version 1 have got the game, but my, oh my, Johnny, did they have to work for it?
Yeah, what a mess. The safest finish there from Com with the single jump after how their striking has gone. That makes a lot of sense. They did work their way back into it pretty quickly. They shook off the miss, and you can see at the end of the game there as well, Com just shrugging to Torment, say it's not a big deal. We go next. You know, we regained in the game, and they got the win. But that was an extremely difficult one to get, and the club were definitely threatening many, many times in that game.
And that's Com's first goal of the series.
It is.
That Beast Mode hasn't scored yet.
That's crazy. It really is.
It's been like that. There's been so many threads across the entirety of the field. But for version 1, I mean, you can see right here as really they're just communicating what they're going to be doing for the next game.
Are they telepathic?
Maybe. Maybe it's...
They're all fully focused here. Well, the club have definitely surprised even those of us who thought they were going to have a real shot at winning this.
That's just really breaking. We could have had it all three the whole way across.
I really hope Astromic doesn't think that they've been eliminated. With how long that game went, he might feel like they've lost it. But no, really, they're just 2 games away from advancing to that main event. Really interesting to see how different players decide to compose themselves between games. Astromic just in the zone here. Just taking a quick nap, sleeping on V1. One thing I do like that V1 really started to do in that 4th game is just hitting the ball way around the club.
Yes.
They've figured out that, okay, the club are just going to dive in. Let's make sure that we absolutely do not get dunked on. Hit it to a side wall, hit it to a back corner wall, no backboard, no direct approach, just let's go around them. They're going to dive out of the way, and then we've got free touches, and it's started to give them more control of the series.
I think, despite how bottly that was on occasion from V1, not exactly a stretch to say that they were the better team, and by a bit of a distance there
in that
between them and the club. They made
definitely
so many opportunities for themselves, and if they can just remember that coming into this game, then they've got full control.
Hey!
Beast mode on the board.
And if Beast Mode's been struggling because he's not had as many goals, well, hopefully that does something for his confidence. It wasn't a worldie, but a goal's a goal, especially for version 1 today. The club finally in a bit of trouble here. It looks like that end of the game, the start of this one. This is the first moment in the series where it looks like it's gotten away from them, but can they reply? Astromic hits the bar, it's bounced over.
Bounce.
It's a bit unfortunate again. That's, like I said, the worst possible bounce. It doesn't stick around in front of the net, and it doesn't go in off the bar. That's what happens when the shot's not good enough.
Is now beast mode. Let's see if that confidence is up. I would say certainly yes. As beast mode also tries to find lost car. Torment to Com on the wall. Version 1 back to trying to outpace the club. And if they can do exactly what you alluded to in between games, Johnny, and just be a little bit more creative, leave the options open and ping the ball around, then the club can't just send the way they have previously. But here we go, from lost, can't even get hit out of the way.
Yeah, he's so elusive with his movement. And that's a great pass. Another return pass to KV1. Back pass intercepted by Com. I think the initial plan there was slightly different and what ended up happening. Sometimes it is just better to let loose on the first try. The infield pass looked pretty good for a strike, if you ask me. You know, the 1-2 can work as well if the teammates are on the same page.
And we have seen version 1 in previous rounds so good at reading the infield pass.
Oh, look at this. Oh my.
Has Com got it? Oh, what a save. Version 1 backing down. More than most teams that we have seen, version 1 happy to utilize the back pass. They tried for it that time around, didn't quite get it to go the way they wanted. Drop down infield.
Wow.
And beast mode, quick enough on the draw. Get enough of that car in the way.
Yeah, really step up game here for Beast Mode. Making himself as big as possible in front of that one. Beast Mode deciding to play the ball, and that's just a fine example of what version 1 are trying to do at the moment. Just getting the ball past the club's players. Not really worrying about getting a goal, not really worrying about making direct advancements towards creating chances, just getting the ball past players. And once 2 or 3 have failed to make aggressive interceptions, well, then you can worry about getting your chance on net, getting your goal.
And whilst it does leave V1 a little bit more exposed, should the play from the club be solid, it's also giving version 1 options when it comes to transition. It's not just got to be Torment muscling his way down to the opposite side of the field. We have now seen beast mode become an option. Just shifting the ball away from the club. Actually, the club in a bit of trouble here. Double tap attempt right through the middle. Anywhere else, Astromic might have been in big trouble.
Now Lost did just pick up that 100 boost on spawn. Can't do too much with it to start things off. Beast Mode wants to backboard again. It's defended by KV1, but only as far as Com. Version 1 circling back around, and once again, a brilliant play leads to a goal. This time, not even using a wall to get the plan sorted, just lofting the ball past the last man, and Beast Mode knew exactly what to do. That's his second goal now. He's finally awoken, and that must be an absolute joy to watch for all the V1 fans and for all of North America. The struggle might be over.
Astromic wants to put the struggle right back on, as that's just turned away by Beast Mode. A bit wasted actually from Astromic. Torment was always going to be just loitering around on the backboard. Infield, Astromic not far off it. With a minute and 20 left, still not good enough if they want to try and take this game. There's Astromic on the challenge. Can't get past the entirety of version 1.
And a really big pinch clear there from Com. All 3 V1 players just briefly out of boost completely. And that's all you need, is a big clear to buy yourself some time, get back in the game. Just a minute to go in game 5. It seems like the turning point has been and gone now. It's all V1 now. The club's infield passes have been close to connecting. None of them have proved effective up until now. Will it go back to more of that solo play-oriented approach that they had earlier on, which was working wonders for them?
The big question for me here, Johnny, is are we going to be looking back at that previous game as the turning point where, despite the fact that they were against it, the club were deep into overtime, had shots going against them, but still could have found a goal, could have capitalized on version 1's lack of clutch.
Look at this.
And now that we've got version 1 in their own groove, they do look like the better team. Rolling their way through to match point. Even getting double of them as Stromik wants to try and find one final opportunity. It's not happening. This is version 1. If you describe version 1 to anybody, this is how you expect them to play. High mechanics, high bumps, high demos, and high flying. Version 1, double match point, and the club with answers to find. Is there going to be another? Not quite. Lost, having none of it.
Yeah, V1 with double match point. I don't think they're fully comfortable yet. I think the club really have made life difficult for them, but they're all here finally now to play. We see the big step-up game from Beast Mode. Torment just carried them to a Game 2 win, which is now looking oh so clutch. It was without that, I don't know where they were going to be in this series, but yeah, they're all here to play now. Com finishing off that last game, Beast Mode finishing off this one. And the club have kind of fallen off at the same time. Lost was completely dominating in the opening 3 games, and now we're seeing less of that. KV1, of course, with the big blunder in the last game to essentially save an open net for us that was about to come to a Stromik. And they're going to try and turn this around with a quick timeout here. So,
I mean, you have to.
Yeah, you got to use it. It's there. This is what it's for. Either to take away the momentum that V1 have built up for themselves with a couple of games in a row, or to just figure out what the solution is. I think that that's probably what's happening here. Is we're seeing a lot of talking between KV1 and the coach.
I mean, realistically, they've got to find a way of getting that offense to click yet again. We are well over 10 minutes since we last saw the last club goal. Last game they lost 1-0. This one they lost 2-0. It is just progressively getting more and more version 1s to win.
Oh, look at this. This is really quite something. A very, very, very focused.
You haven't got long, man. You've got to get that point across.
I mean, Lost is just sitting on the other side of the stage there. He obviously has been the star player, so they've got faith in him. But yeah, I think KV1 might be feeling a bit nervous here. That opportunity missed in game number 4 has to be haunting him.
But again, this is going, and I think this has been a storyline that we have really talked about throughout this wildcard, is how important the person in the middle is. Here's the one for version 1. We know how important Com is to the way that they play and the way they communicate and just the general mentality around the team. But now we've just got to see an example of what the club do. And I do appreciate that they didn't just have the coach talking and everyone else looking dead ahead of them, waiting for it. We've seen so many teams do that. There was communication. There was clearly a point that they wanted to make. And now the club have got 2 games that they need to go and grab.
Well, you know, it's the Stromik in the middle there, and he's actually the veteran of this team. They're all young players, but he played in the fall major with Era Eternity, and they weren't able to get any series wins, but they did make life very difficult for NRG. They took Vitality to game 5. That was a great, I think, great tournament in terms of experience for Stromik, and he's the guy that KV1 is going to be looking to. KV1, of course, has all the potential in the world, but that one big mistake can really get in your head. Here's a chance for him. It's denied by Torment, but that's really got V1 in a lot of trouble. Beast Mode with a quick follow-up. We'll keep the second shot at bay as well.
Reset from a Stromik. The club want to get off to a quick start here. Makes that timeout reasonably worthwhile.
Oh.
We did speak to Daz yesterday about what the club looked like after a timeout, and he said completely different. So we know that when they take the timeout, they utilize it, they change stuff. Let's find out what they have changed. Stromik, options around him, chooses to go by himself. Up against Com in the midfield, second touch, gets it back to Beast Mode. Beast Mode back to the wall. There's so many bits of contact to not really move the ball anywhere. Pre-jump here from Stromik, he still can't quite get to it. Off the backboard, Com, that drops down awkwardly. And the club, so happy to see that Torment wasn't there quick enough.
Oh, that's going to work, though. Beast Mode notices Lost stranded at the near post, and he just lobs it up and over him. Torment with a key deflection there. If he puts that near the back wall, it's easy for Lost to defend, but he gets it away from the wall into the middle of the box. That gives Beast Mode a free run up at it, and another goal lead for version 1, this time on match point.
You don't have to win the ball every single time. You just have to make it really awkward for the other team. And both of these squads have been exceptional at doing exactly that. Now off the backboard, Lost. Oh, that's awkward. Has to call into his teammate. Lost. Back down to a Stromik from the backboard. But Torment was there about 3 touches ago waiting for this. That backboard was never the choice. version 1 with players well behind the ball, doing what they have to do. KV1 dove into it. It's now up to Lost, who gets bumped on his way back. It's going to be good position now for version 1. They send in Com. Can't quite find Lost. Looks for KV1 instead. It's just unrelenting from them whenever they get the chance to wipe out your car.
Oh,
but this is awkward. Where's Astromic? He waited, and he still dove in. It's up to Lost to just try and get himself into a good position. Credit where it is due here to the club. Their rotations back have been quick enough that the risks have been worth taking.
Yeah, they're coming in from angles that are not clear for version 1. So version 1 are definitely scrambling here, just focusing on getting saves. They're not too worried about putting long shots on target. As long as the club can be deceptive with their approach, this is viable. Now Beast Mode in a momentary 1v1. Doesn't get the best takeoff. And Com will help him out and keep the attack going. The club still looks scary going forward. I think their defensive strategy's been a bit more careful. They realized that they were just getting consistently outplayed by lunging in every single time. Now they're trying to throw in a couple of fake challenges and just mix up the timing slightly. But will that be worth anything? They just continue to have a goal drought. Now finally an opportunity. Lost against Torment, but the touch is heavy. He ran out of boost and couldn't catch up to it.
Lost does have the option, but Astromic, he jumped in. It's up to KV1. Up against Com. Com expected him to play it just a little earlier. Couldn't find the block. Lost in. And Lost bumped right back out. Both teams, they're not overplaying this anymore when it comes to getting rid of the pressure. A lot more booming clears. As double commit, double the power as it goes straight back to Com. Astromic will loiter around, wait to see when it's his opportunity to just jump in for it, but with Beast Mode also providing the assist. That chance didn't come across. KV1 beats one player, goes to the setup.
Goodness.
And if the club was somehow telepathic, that would have been a goal and a half.
I mean, he almost managed to put it in himself with an impossible angle. The club trying to come to life late in the game, late in the series, but is it too little too late? Astromic with heroics keeps them one goal behind. As version 1 continued to threaten with almost every counter-attack. Lost, no reset. But it does set up for Astromic. Double save there from version 1. Seems like the team pitch worked out pretty well there.
Bit of a calamity on the way back for the club, but they do retain possession of the ball. Well, a few double commits, but at least they're calling each other off early, and actually, it's sending version 1 for a loop. Torment pops the ball back up. KV1 with 0 boost. This is going to try and just get this over to Lost. This really is turning into a match where you are waiting to see which team can surprise the other quick enough, because the answers have always been there, the players have always been in the way. And despite how deceptive both teams have been, nothing has quite fooled the other.
Yeah, it's been the defensive difference in this game. Version 1 playing it out flawlessly. Can they keep doing so? They're being tested, but still getting key touches on every single play. 1-2 pass. Leaves it wide open, surely now, and it is a finish for the club with just 10 seconds left.
A roar from out my right ear. The club had to work for it, but with 10 seconds left, they are back into this series. They don't want to do it in the next round, Johnny. They want to get it done here. They want to go to Champions Field. One goal away from doing exactly that.
And they break their goal drought off a KV1 outplay, but now they've got to make it into overtime. V1 have got the pressure on them. Looks like we might be headed to OT. No, it bounces. Torment might actually keep this up. He does. This might work in the club's favor, in fact, but Com's got half a chance. He's got the backboard. Where's the follow-up? There it is for Beast Mode. Version 1 to it with no time left on the clock.
A slow start, but a roaring finish. Beast Mode is the difference. Version 1 are through.